I made a mistake that cost me years of my life. And if you're not careful, it can happen to you too. This is my biggest mistake. You know, uh, I'm a dentist by profession. You already know that, and I've been practicing for a number of years. I'm practicing now. I have my license. I have my own office and all that fun stuff. But back in the day, back in 2011, I lost my license. What? Yeah, I lost my dental license after so many years of practice. Um, it's all public information, but basically the board wanted us to get our continuing education done in a certain amount of time, and I didn't do that. And after repeated warnings, they decided to take my license. It wasn't a lot of fun, but and after that, it was just a world of trouble. But even before that, I failed in a lot of other different areas too. Like I said, I've been in business for X number of years, and when I got out of school, I was silly, made dumb mistakes, and buying cars and houses, and thought about buying an airplane. Was that close to buying an airplane? Didn't do that, thank God. But I was living large, paying, traveling, going all over the world, and all that stuff. And I was working, making money, but that was this thing called taxes. You know about taxes, the Internal Revenue Service. They don't play. Yeah, I got in trouble with them. Everything's fine now. But some other creditors came around there, and I had to file bankruptcy. Yeah, I failed a lot of different times. I lost my license. I filed bankruptcy. I made a lot of money in my office, but I didn't really net that much because I was spending it all on stupid things, and so yeah, I didn't really save or invest like I should because I was living large, living fast. I don't blame anyone. I take full responsibility. I'm sorry for what it cost my family, but they're doing fine now. But I just wanted to take this opportunity to let you know that you don't have to make the same mistakes I did. This was not a lot of fun to go through this. After so many years, I really wanted to be a dentist and went to school and got my license and all that stuff. Started making money and then just went absolutely wild in a bad way. No drugs or anything like that, but just no patient injury, nothing like that. But just stupid stuff, spending money, not being responsible, and all of that. So I didn't think I'd ever be in this position at this age. And what I should have done was I should have can take my dental career seriously. I waited too long to take my continuing education. I waited too long to take my classes. I took the minimal amount of continuing education, but I didn't take the maximum amount. I just did just enough to keep my license current, which is what you're supposed to do. Take a minimum amount of continuing education hours per year. I don't want to bore you, but I did the minimals instead of going for the max because I was just happy being a doctor. And again, my patients were really important. I'm not here to say I didn't abuse my patients or anything like that. I just didn't take my profession seriously, and I had to pay for it. When I lost my license, I lost it in 2011, and for like several years, I was just out there working odd jobs and doing delivery driver jobs, knocking on doors, trying to sell property tax relief to homeowners, getting doors slammed in my face, getting dogs chasing me. Yeah, that happened to me. I'm a doctor walking around and knocking on doors because of my stupidity. Nobody else's stupidity at all. But I really want to let you guys know that you take your for career profession seriously because you can be like me. You can lose it all, and you don't think it like can happen to you, but it can. And it doesn't take long. I didn't think my career would ever end. I was having fun, practicing dentistry, the profession I love, helping my patients, but just not paying my bills. And it caught up with me. And I don't want it to catch up with you either. I want you to take responsibility for whatever you choose to do. Take it seriously. And it's not about you. Your career is not about you. It's about you and your customers and your family as well, your creditors. It's not all about you. As you know, don't just take the money and make it. And I know it's been a while. You've been broke all your life, and you finally get a chance to make some real money, so you want to spend it. I've been there, but I wasn't responsible, and I don't want you to do that. So what happened to me is, over the years when I was out, the several years I was out, I was never a biblical scholar or anything like that, but I started reading the Word. Now, I read the Bible in college. A lot of my good friends in college helped me to get my spiritual life together, and I did that, and I sort of gotten away with that when I got in dental school, to no fault of theirs. I was just in school and studying, and I just didn't really take the Bible as seriously as I thought I would. But it wasn't until I had the tragedy of losing my license again that I came home one day and after knocking on doors and getting chased by dogs and not really making a lot of money at all, but using a lot of my gas money and all that to travel all over town to knock on doors and not really making any sales, something had to give. So I started taking the Bible seriously again. And you know what? I always said that the day I lost my license, that I would get it back. I was just that determined to get it back. I'm silly and stubborn like that. If something happens to me, you don't take anything from me, and that's the end of it. But I said back then when I lost my license, I get it back. I didn't know how, but fast forward to where I am now. I've lost my license. I'm sitting at home. I started reading the Bible, and I just started reading the Bible and started doing what it says and start taking it seriously. I'm not a holy roller. I'm not here to preach to you. I'm not here to convert you or anything like that. I'm just telling you what happened to me. And if it can happen to me, it can happen to you as well, or it can happen for you. I began taking my spiritual walk seriously. I began getting into the Word, reading the Word. Uh, I'm not going to go over all the things I did. That's not important. But just to know, I started doing what the Word said. In addition to that, I started to take my profession seriously. I started to decide to get my license back. I started staying current in my profession, reading things that what was going on, and I began practicing to take my licensing exam again. And after doing all that, I took the licensing exam, and did I pass right away? No, no, I didn't. That's what's so surprising. After 27 years of practice, I went back for a licensing exam, and I failed it. I sure did. I was a licensed dentist that had lost his license, went back for the licensing exam, and I failed it. I was shocked. How could that possibly be? I've already done these procedures in my office, and now for the exam, I failed it. So that was a gut punch. And I didn't know what was going on. I was like, Lord, why are you punishing me? What did I do to deserve this? And I was blaming God for my failures. Can you believe that? Instead of being responsible, I was blaming the man upstairs. You don't like me. And I'm not going to go into all of my details, but just know that I was disappointed in God. Yes, I was. But after a while, I kept reading. I kept reading. I kept reading different people in the Bible that gone through struggles and what happened, how they got out of struggles, like characters like Job and Joseph in the Bible, and people like that. I read what they did, Moses, when how he struggled and overcame that as well. So I learned from reading the Bible, and this is my own words. I'm not a biblical scholar. That that's the other side of struggles. Yeah, you go through them, but if you trust in the Lord, if you trust means lean on, have confidence in, rely on. If you do what He says, He'll get you to the other side. And that's what I did. So what happened? I began trusting the Lord. I began going back and practicing on the board exam again. I took it again. I took it several. I took it. Oh man, I can't. I think more than one time. But finally, I took the board again and I passed it. I passed it and I got my license back and now I'm here. And I just want to let everybody know that there's the other side of struggles. If you lost something dear to you, like a professional career or a license, or you lost you lost a loved one, a relationship, you don't. It's not the end. You have to continue struggling. You have to continue reading if you want to. This is what I did. You have to develop a reading habit of the Bible. You have to do what it says, and you have to take him seriously, and change your life around. You have to decide what you want and begin practicing on that. Begin working on that in your spare time. Like Jim Rome said, work harder on yourself than you do anything else. You may have a job after you lost your career or your relationship or whatever. In your spare time, work on you. Work on you becoming better. Work on becoming better in your craft or whatever you want to go into. Work on becoming really good at that. Say you are, for example, you work as a mailman, for example, and in your spare time, you really want to be a copywriter, for example, or you really want to be someone that writes screenplays. Well, do your mailman job, for example, from 9 to 5 or whatever hours you work. And then in your spare time, learn everything you can about copywriting, screenplaying. Because, like Jim Rome said, work harder on yourself than you do on your job, and that's how you succeed. That's what I did. I worked my little job, knocking on doors, and I'm not making any money. But in my spare time, I read, I prayed, I worked on my craft as a dentist, I practiced, I read different dental journals, I stayed current, and finally I passed the board again. I'm a licensed dentist now, and I love it. I love what I do. I have my own office. Uh, am I are my struggles over? Absolutely not. I still have struggles. I still have things that I have to work on. But I do know one thing. I don't want anyone to have to go through what I did. So I'm telling everyone, you don't have to avoid the road that I've gone on, and you can come out the other side. But it's up to you. You have to be persistent. So there's three different lessons I want to tell you, boy, as we finish up today. Stop waiting. You don't need to feel ready to move forward. If there's something you want, start. Start. You don't ever want to live a life where you're on your hospital bed saying, "Man, I wish I really wanted to do that. I really wanted to get my pilot's license. I really want to be a screenplay. I really want to write a book. I really want to write a movie. I really want to jump out of a plane, for example." Start. There's no reason for you to sit around waiting, hoping, dreaming. Whatever goal you have for your life, start. Life is short. You know this, and it goes by fast. Number two, accept reality. Hey, just because you fail, it doesn't mean you're a failure. That's the hardest thing I had to figure out. The day I lost my license, I thought I was lower than the belly of a snake, for example. But you know what I realized from reading and reading the word and reading different books? Just because you fail, it doesn't mean you are a failure. You failed at something. It doesn't mean you are a failure. So accept the reality. What's the reality? You're not a failure. You just failed at something. And if you want that certain thing back, you can get it. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of your spare time doing the things you know you should do to become really proficient at that. Or if you want to go to a different career, you can do that as well. There's nothing you can't do. You know all that. I don't want to sound cliche and bore you or anything like that. And the last thing, take small steps. Don't try to get everything back in one fell swoop. It takes time. I lost my license in 2011. I didn't get my dental license back until 2020. Man, that was like, what, 9 years later? So for 9 years, I was in the wasteland. I was out there knocking on doors and making a little bit of money. Thank God I had a wife who didn't divorce me, didn't leave me. She wasn't a gold digger. She was with me when I was up. She was with me when I was down. Now she's still with me today. Am I up again? No, but I'm on my way back. And the same woman is still with me. She gave me three beautiful kids, and I don't know what I'd do without her, but enough of that. But the point is, take small steps. Don't try to get everything back one day at a time. Just be consistent. Start today, decide what you want, start taking those steps, become really good at that. Be consistent. Take those steps on a consistent basis. You have to do your craft every day. It's better if you do, but the most important thing is to be consistent. Take your small steps towards your goal consistently. Stay at it. For a while, it's going to seem like nothing's happening, but that's the trap. That's what the enemy wants you to do. The enemy wants you to believe that, oh, this is not working. I should give up. I should go do what my friends are doing. But that's their dream. That's not your dream. If you have a dream of freedom, or if you have a dream of getting whatever you lost back, you can do it. If it's real to you, you can do it. So what I want you to do, if you feel like you've wasted your years, you haven't. If you're still here, God is not done with you. You're here for a reason. So listen, this is what I have for you today. If this helped you, subscribe to this channel, like it, click the thumbs up button. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. because your comments are really important to me. If you don't like what I say, hey, that's good. Give me the negative comments as well. Negative comments make me stronger, and it'll help me help other people. So if you have a criticism of me, great. I can use your criticism to help somebody else. So do me a favor, comment on this channel, like it, subscribe to it. Let me know what you think about it, and I'll be back in a day or two with my next video to let you know how you can really start turning your life around and get out of the struggles that you're in. Okay, this is Mike. I'll see you next time. Bye.